Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dr. Nicole. Let me ask you this. What is a high value woman? Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about embracing high value femininity. We know the high value label is a hot topic. We're talking about high value men. What is that? But let's talk about high value femininity and how you can tap into yours. Okay. Before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Okay. So I want us to talk not just about femininity, but really unlocking your high value femininity. And here's a secret: it has very little to do with money, and it has everything to do with mindset and how you cultivate a healthy view of yourself and relationship with yourself. Okay. So, the first step to really becoming a high value feminine woman or tapping into your high value, your femininity, is to work on self confidence, to work on your self confidence. And that really is about embracing who you are. You will hear me talk over and over about valuing and embracing your uniqueness and your value as an individual, as a person. Acknowledge your strengths and focus on personal growth if there's areas that you still want to work on. It doesn't mean because you're working on yourself and elevating yourself that you should down yourself or criticize yourself or put yourself down. It just means that you are committing to growth. But it's so important to acknowledge your strengths and develop that confidence. That is the foundation of elegance and grace, and really having a positive sense of yourself and who you are. Okay, so really working on that self-confidence is key. Number two is really pay attention to your style and appearance. And I gave you the caveat earlier that this is not about money. This is another way of expressing your confidence, really deciding that putting yourself together and putting yourself out there in a way where you hold your head up high, where you learn to walk with confidence, where you learn to have a style that is yours, that is unique, right? That all of those things show that you value yourself. And so it could be the little touches, like, ladies, this could be making sure that you have clothes that fit you properly. Sometimes we might buy things and it's not flattering to our body type and our body shape. There's so many things you could do. You could go on Pinterest and do a style guide and see what your style is, or your body type, or your shape. Okay, so this isn't about being a cookie cutter version of anyone else. It's about really embracing your uniqueness, developing or tapping into what your style is, and having your appearance reflect that. It will really show that you are feeling confident about yourself when you put a little bit of effort into your appearance. Okay. And think about the kind of textures and colors and things that seem to fit you, what your style, what you prefer, how you like to feel in things, right? I love like your basic materials. I love cotton. I love linen. I love anything that has a nice crisp look. So think about what your style is and what your appearance says about you. It speaks volumes. Okay, it's not the only thing, but it is part of what you communicate about yourself. So that's an important part. Number three is effective communication. Effective communication. Communication is one of the key parts of your feminine energy, and in terms of how you connect with others, how you express yourself, right? So, learning to cultivate or develop communication skills by listening attentively, right? So, communication is a two-way street. Learning to speak, uh, take the road of speaking with kindness and grace. We have enough of communication where we go to a base level. And that doesn't mean speaking with kindness and grace means you allow yourself to be a pushover or walked all over. There are different ways that you can send a message that you're setting boundaries with someone, or that you're not, that how you feel is not all happy and rosy, right? You can still do those things with a level of grace where you show that you understand how to communicate. Okay. So, really honing those skills, learning to be assertive when you need to, and learning that elegance, part of that is being eloquent and having poise when you talk. That means learning to restrain yourself. You don't always have to blow up at everything. And that's where learning to be assertive comes in, because a lot of times being assertive will get you farther than being aggressive. Okay. So the different levels of communication are what help you to level up your femininity. And if you really learn how to use I statements and express what you're feeling, especially in relationships, that's going to take you a long way. That will help the other person listen to you, and that's going to help you learn to listen to the other person, which is a key part of feminine communication. Okay. Number four is yes, I just talked about outer beauty, appearance, but what's really key, we know it's so true that beauty really emanates from within. It comes from within, right? So you really have to take care of your mental health and your well being, and do things that really pour into you, like exercise and taking care of your skin and other self care routines like resting. I am huge on cooking. And let me tell you why. Cooking serves so many purposes. First of all, you know what you're putting in your body, right? When you are constantly always eating out, you don't know exactly what they're using to make those things. Two is cooking is an activity that if you really set aside some time, and it could sometimes just be 30 minutes, if you set aside some time, you will be fully immersed. And that's a way to clear your mind, to be present, and to involve yourself in the creative process. You're literally creating something. You're taking a bunch of like separate ingredients and you're creating a meal. And there's nothing more powerful than that. So it taps into your femininity in so many ways, not in the ways that people think like, oh, because you're a woman, you have to cook. No, we know that men cook, anybody can cook. But I think that cooking is really powerful as a way to nurture yourself, focus on your inner beauty because you know what you're putting in your body, but it also helps you with balance because you are engaged, you're like being creative, and you are being very present focused when you cook, if you do it right, right? And when I say do it right, I mean just literally setting aside time to do it, to cook, however long that time is. Okay. The other thing is embracing your femininity on a higher level is also about nurturing your emotional intelligence. We talk a lot about connection and vulnerability. And what those that really requires is for you to be in touch with your emotions. You have to be in touch with your emotions, and you have to learn how to empathize with others. But it's hard to empathize with others if we're not first in touch with and able to empathize with ourselves or have self compassion, right? Think about it. The people who are most of the time so harsh with others, those are usually the people who are very, very harsh with themselves. So the way you can learn to have more connection and understanding of other people is to have more compassion and understanding for yourself. And you do that through really understanding and getting in touch with your emotions. It's also when you learn to sh- put that compassion outwards and being able to listen actively, provide support with healthy boundaries, right? We're not talking about going out and people pleasing, but in situations where your nurturance and your understanding can be helpful, especially to people close to you, that can help give you a sense of, that can really help you connect to your own emotions as well, right? You hear people talk about how when they go and volunteer or they do something of service, it really does as much for them as it does for other people. So when you're in relationship, you want to tap into your emotional intelligence, learn to connect with others, and do it with healthy boundaries. That, ladies, is how you maintain your feminine energy. And lastly, don't forget about that part of life. Life is also about feeding ourselves. So, tapping into your passions, your desires, what your purpose is. And I'm not talking about this, could be separate. This is not about a job or a career or a business, although that might be what your passion is, right? My passion and purpose is really helping women to elevate. And so everything I do centers around that. But your passion could be anything. You really want to be able to identify what your desires are, what your dreams are. A high value feminine woman has a sense of purpose about herself, and she's actively engaged in activities that are not just work, but that bring her joy and fulfillment. And that's how she radiates out that ease and that femininity. So don't forget, it's how important it is to embrace your unique gifts and let them shine. And that is how you contribute to the world, you being your fullest, grandest self, right? So, by going through and seeing how these different tips can fit into your life, you are going to be well on your way, ahead of so many others, as far as unlocking your inner elegance and embracing that high level femininity, right? So, we are talking about these are the ways to be a high value woman, and tap into your high value femininity. So it's really about self love, confidence, and embracing the best version of yourself while also welcoming others in, not shutting others out, right? A feminine woman is able to connect with others with healthy boundaries. So thank you so much for watching, and for also for thank yourself for giving yourself this time to really work on developing your femininity and healthy connections and healthy boundaries. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notifications button. You don't want to miss anything. And I will see you in the next video, and share this if it has been of value to you. Take care. It's Dr. Nicole.